I'm just trying to make it all make sense.
The
More.
You
No.
Podcast.
Today I want to discuss a checklist that Dale Carnegie would include in the introduction of his books to assist in getting the most out of what you're reading. And this checklist will no doubt assist in comprehending as well as applying whatever you read. So this checklist has 9 elements and I now want to go through them, starting with the first being, to develop a deep driving desire to master the principles of the book. You must first become motivated to get the most out of it. Then from there you reach the second element, which is reading each chapter twice before going on to the next chapter. And by doing this, you really allow yourself to absorb all of the information in that chapter. From there you then reach the third element of the checklist, which is to stop frequently as you're reading to ask yourself how you can apply what's being read. Whether these be lessons or perspective, by taking a moment to think about it as you're reading and seeing how it could be applied to your mindset or life will assist in getting the most out of what you're reading. Then you reach the fourth element, which is to underline each important idea. Because you're making a form of a physical action going alongside the reading, you're actually building stronger connections in your brain surrounding what was read, and therefore assisting in better comprehending what you're reading and getting the most out of it. After that, you then reach the fifth element, which is to review the whole book every month. By reviewing the book monthly, you're ensuring that you comprehended everything that needed to be comprehended, as well as going through the process of properly applying the principles and knowledge that was provided in the book. After that, you then reach the sixth element of the checklist, which is focusing on applying what was read at every opportunity possible. By focusing daily on applying whatever you read, you're putting in the time and effort to apply what was read, and therefore getting the most out of it by applying it in your life. After that, you then reach the seventh element of the checklist, which is to find an accountability partner who you share the information that you read with, and then let them have you know whenever you aren't applying the knowledge that you learned. By having this accountability partner, whether it be a family member or a friend, assists in applying the knowledge that was read and getting the most out of it by habitually applying it in your life. And then from there you reach the eighth element of the checklist, which is to check on your progress weekly, taking note of mistakes that might have been made, improvements that should be made, and what lessons you've learned for the future. And by doing so, you're ensuring that you're applying what was learned as best as possible and getting the most out of what was learned. And then finally we reach the ninth element of the checklist, which is to keep notes about the most important aspects, as well as how and when they're applied in your life. Doing so not only keeps note of the most important things to keep in mind, but assists in keeping what was learned in mind as a whole, and making sure you get the most out of the book as weeks go by. No matter if this is a personal development book that's from Dale Carnegie, a textbook in school, a book about history, or something else that you're reading to learn. By going through this checklist and ensuring that you're fulfilling all 9 elements, you will no doubt get the most out of whatever you're reading, and use that knowledge to enable you to craft a life of significance.
I'm just trying to make it all make sense.
The
More.
You
No.
Podcast.